Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before I start my presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is Angelia Ayu Sabrina. Today, I will present my final project proposal about calculation of income tax article 21 on PT XYZ in 20 and 23. The next slide here is table of contents. First, introduction. Second, literature review. And the third is research methodology. Chapter 1, Introduction. The first is background. The second is formulation of the problem. The third is purpose. And the last is benefit. Background. Tax is a source of income for the state that must be paid by taxpayers, whether whether they are the individual taxpayers or corporate taxpayers. Income tax also includes Income Tax Article 21, which means tax on income the form of salary, wages, honorarium, allowance, and other payments in any name and in any form in connection with work or position, services, and activities carried out by the subject individual by Humping and France in 20 and 23. The government issued the latest government regulation, namely PP Number 58 of 20 and 23, which regulates the withholding rates for Article 21 income tax on income related to work, services, or activities for individual taxpayers. This regulation will come into effect effectively on January 1st, 20 and 24 by Hikmahwati and friends in 20 and 24. Government Regulation (PP Number 58 of 20 and 23) brings significant changes to provisions for cutting rates for income tax Article 21. Previously, all calculation for Income Tax 21 referred directly to the progressive rates as regulated in Article 70, Paragraph 1 of the Income Tax Law (UU Income Tax). However, with the enactment of this new rule, the calculation method is now divided into two ways. During the January to November period, calculations are carried out using the average effective rate, which is the average rate calculated to provide an estimate of tax cuts throughout the year. Meanwhile, in December, the recalculation is carried out based on progressive rates in accordance with the provision of Article 17, Paragraph 1 of the Income Tax Law. This change aims to increase the accuracy of tax calculation and provide certainty and ease in implementation. PT XYZ Semarang City is a company specializing in the production of care and hair care products in Semarang, Central Java. With 100 employees, the company is obligated to calculate and report income tax Article 21. Currently, PT XYZ still uses tax rates from Law Number 36 of 2008, which requires adjustment to comply with Government Regulation Number 58 of 20 and 23. Additionally, a review of employee tenure and the alignment of annualized net income is necessary. This research was conducted at PPXYZ. The purpose of this study was to evaluate the calculation and withholding of Article 21 income tax for employees at PPXYZ, assessing whether it aligns with the provisions of Tax Law Number 58 of 20 and 23 on income. The next slide is formulation of the problem. Based on the background presented above, the following problems are formulated. Number 1. How is the calculation, reporting, and payment of Article 21 income tax for employees at PT XYZ in Semarang, Central Java in 20 and 23 before and after the enactment of Government Regulation Number 58 of 20 and 23? Number 2. What is the impact of changes in Article 21 income tax rates on the amount of tax owned by employees at PT XYZ in Semarang, Central Java in 2023. The next is purpose. The following are the objectives of the research. Number one, analyze the calculation, reporting, and payment of Article 21 income tax for employees at PT XYZ in Semarang, Central Java in 2023 before and after enactment of Government Regulation Number 58 of 2023. Number two, identify the impact of changes in Article 21 income tax rates on the amount of tax owed by employees at PT XYZ in Semarang, Central Java in 2023. The next slide is benefits. The following are the benefits of this research. Number one, this research is expected to help PT XYZ and other companies in analyzing the calculation, reporting, and payment of Article 21 income tax for employees at PT XYZ in Semarang, Central Java in 2023 before and after the enactment of Government Regulation Number 58 of 2023. Number two, this study is expected by the company to identify the impact of changes in Article 21 income tax rates on the amount of tax owed by employees at PT XYZ in Semarang, Central Java in 2023. Number three, for subsequent researchers, this study is expected to be a reference for future research and can be further developed to achieve more optimal results. The next is Chapter 2, Literature Review. The first is Definition of Tax, second, Function of Tax, number third is Definition Income Tax, Article 21, number fourth is Income Tax Subject, number fifth, Income Tax Object, number six is Definition of Tax, number seven, Income Tax Withholding Agent, number eight, Taxable Income, and the last is Non-Taxable Income. Definition of tax. According to Law Number 28 of 2007, tax is a mandatory contribution to the state owed by individuals or bodies which is mandatory based on the law without receiving direct compensation and is used for state needs for the greatest prosperity of the people. Function of tax. According to CP Resmi 2019, state that the function of tax is divided into two functions, namely first, budgetary function. With this, tax is one of the sources of government revenue to finance both routine and development expenditures. Number two, regulatory function. Tax as a tool to regulate or implement government policies in the social and economic fields and achieve certain goals outside the financial field. The next is definition of income tax. According to Mardias Law 2019, Article 21 income tax is a tax on income in the form of salaries, wages, honorariums, allowance, and other payments in any name and in any form in connection with work or position, services, and activities carried out by individuals. The next is income tax subject Article 21. The subject of income tax is the person or party responsible for income tax received or accrued in the tax year or part of the tax year. That means the person who has to pay income tax and is referred to as a taxpayer. The next is income tax object Article 21. Based on Article 4, Paragraph 1 of Law Number 36 of 2008, the object of tax is income, namely any additional economic capacity received or obtained by taxpayers, whether originating from Indonesia or outside Indonesia, which can be used for consumptions or for increase the wealth of the taxpayers concerned in whatever name and form. Next is income tax withholding Article 21. The withholding agent for Article 21 income tax is the employee, in this case consisting of individuals and bodies or branches, representative or units, treasurers or government cash holders, pension funds, social security administration bodies for workers and other bodies, individuals who carry out business activities or freelance work, and bodies that make payment in connection with the provision of services and activity organizers. The next is taxable income. According to Article 6 of Law Number 7 of 2021, it explains that taxable income is income that is used as the basis for calculating income tax. Taxable income for domestic taxpayers in Indonesia and permanent establishments is determined based on gross income minus costs incurred to obtain, collect, and maintain income. The next is non-taxable income. According to 7 of Law Number 7 of 2021, it explained that non-taxable income or PTKP is the amount of income that is the limit for not being subject to Article 21 income tax for individual taxpayers. In other words, if a person monthly income does not reach the PTKP threshold, they are not required to pay tax. The next is Chapter 3, Research Methodology. Number 1 is definition of research methodology. Number 2, data classification. Number 3, data collection methods. Definition of research methodology. According to Abu Bakar, 2021, the research method is an effort to investigate and trace a problem by using scientific methods carefully and thoroughly to collect, process, analyze data, and draw conclusions systematically and objectively in order to solve a problem or test a hypothesis to obtain knowledge, which is useful for human life. The next is data classification. Number 1, data according to type. According to Cahyadi in Sugiono, 2019 state that data types are classified into two types, namely A. Qualitative data. Qualitative data is data in the form of words, sentences, narratives, body movements, facial expression, charts, image, and photos. B. Qualitative data. Qualitative data is data in the form of number or qualitative data that is numbered or scored. Number 2, data according to source. According to Cahyadi in Sugiono, 2019, explained that based on the source, research data is classified into types, namely A. Primary data. Primary data is a data source that directly provides data to data collectors. B. Secondary data. Secondary data is a source that does not directly provide data to data collectors, for example, through other people or through documents. The next is data collection methods. In the book Kunchoro and Christianti, 20 and 24 explains that data collection methods refer to the process or techniques used to collect information or data needed in research or study. Data collection methods in this research use three methods includes number one is interview. According to Kunchoro and Christianti 20 and 24, explain that interviews can be structured or unstructured. The research uses written questions that are distributed to respondents to obtain their responses regarding the research topic. Questionnaires can be paper or electronic. In this final assignment, interviews were conducted directly with administrative and financial staff, especially those who process employee salary data. The next is observation. According to Gunchoro and Christianti 20 and 24, observation can be carried out with or without the participant of researchers in the situation being observed. The process of direct interaction between researchers and respondents to obtain in-depth information. Observation were carried out in this final assignment by visiting the research object directly, namely PT XYZ in Semarang. And the next is document study. According to Kuncoro and Kristianti, 20 and 24, in this case, data collection is carried out by analyzing documents such as reports, archives, notes, or other sources that can provide relevant information for research. The documentation the documentation study used in writing this final assignment is textbooks, government regulation, and laws governing tax regulation to apply taxation theories and concepts that will form the basis of this research. That's all my presentation. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.